Hello and welcome to our channel. In our channel, we'll be mainly focused on electric vehicles and driving in electric vehicles and living within electric vehicles in China. So we will do some road trips. We'll do lots of fun things to do with my mom car. It's a 2021 Tesla Model 3 Performance, and I will do lots of reviews as much as possible, as much as I can find those cars that are specifically sold on Chinese market. So let's get on with the video today. So today I want to talk about why did I make the huge switch from a internal combustion engine car to a electric vehicle. The first one is it's much cheaper to run for an electric vehicle, especially this year because of the war and in Europe between Russia and Ukraine and everything. The gas price was just so high. So in China, the gas price for my old car was 95 octane. That was around $5.25 per US gallon. This is all US units. So my car was averaging around, for the fuel economy, was 8 liters per 100 kilometers. So that transfers to around, you can do the unit conversion by yourself, but that converts to around like 11 US cents per kilometers of running the fuel cost. So that's for a gasoline powered car. But for an electric car, so I can charge the charging rates or the price of electricity after midnight was around like let me get the number right, a little bit less than 5 US cents per kilowatt hour. And my car has an efficiency of around, at the moment, around 160 watt hours per kilometer. So that translates for let me get the number right, that's 3/4 of a cent, a US cent per kilometer for running my electric car. So you can see it's much cheaper. That's only the fuel cost. Now, after the fuel cost, it's a maintenance cost. I had a 2019 Audi Q5. That's a 2-liter turbocharged engine, well over 250 horsepower. The car was pretty nice. It has quattro all-wheel drive, which is very nice in the winter, and for traveling, it gets you out of the way and it keeps you safe on the road, even in some slippery conditions. So that car was pretty nice, but still, I was averaging 8 liters of fuel per 100 kilometers. Next one is the German cars tend to be really expensive to do the maintenance. So Audi in China, they are requiring the car to be maintained, do the maintenance every 5,000 kilometers. That's really, really weird. But because I saw the maintenance plan in the US, the Audi is listing to do the maintenance every 10,000 miles. So anyways, maybe there's some of the parts are different. The engine was designed for the US, for the Chinese environment, or for the Chinese roads. So each maintenance cost me around $250, 250 US dollars. So around like 30,000 kilometers, I will do around 5 or 6 times for maintenance of the car. That cost me around $1,300, somewhere around that. But driving electric vehicles, driving my Tesla for 30,000 kilometers, the only thing I ever did was changing the air filter of my air conditioning, and that's cost me $60, and I did it in a Tesla service center. It's just so cheap, so I just didn't do it by myself. Yeah, yeah. So that's why the switching to electric cars is just cheaper to run. It's much cheaper. The other reason why I make the switch is the Chinese government is just so pro on electric cars. If you're driving on internal combustion cars, you cannot drive your car one day each week. You cannot drive a car. If you drive your car on that particular day that you are forbidden to drive on the road, you get 100 Chinese yuan fine for that, and it'll keep you for 4 hours of driving on that day, and after 4 hours you'll get another 100 Chinese yuan fine for that. So my family used to have a small Volkswagen Polo, so that's a car that sells on European and Chinese market only, probably some other car, but not in the US market. It's a small car, family car. It's really nice. So I have to switch between my Audi Q5 and the Volkswagen Polo all the time because of this kind of nonsense regulation. But switching to an electric car, if you have either it's a battery power electric car or a plug-in hybrid or anything with in China you have a green card plate. In any car with a green car plate in my city, you can drive your car pretty much every day. There's no regulation against it. So you drive it every day, you have a much lower cost. So switching from a internal combustion engine car to a electric powered vehicle, that was a no-brainer for me. So I made the switch immediately once I found out this kind of thing. So among all those electric vehicles, why did I choose Tesla? First, you just cannot mention Tesla. You just cannot mention electric vehicles without mentioning the Tesla. It's just still the king of the market. It's a representative. The Tesla is a representative word or the car of electric cars. It's just that good, or it's just that popular. First reason why I chose a Tesla is because of the supercharging network. Switching from an internal combustion engine to a electric vehicle, the biggest concern is how reliable and how fast I can recharge my car during road trips. Because I like road trips. I don't like going on public transportation. We do have really fast really fast railway system, 300 kilometers per hour. That's really nice. But I still love road trips, driving by my car with my family, having fun, looking at the views, and just go at our own pace. Driving other branded cars, you will have charging issues, DC fast charging issues along the way, because not all those chargers are really reliable. Probably just show up with only 2% of a state of charge of your car, and you find out the charging station is not working, and that would be doomed. Then you will be doomed. But for Teslas, it's just so reliable. You do the car will do the route planning for you, literally, and you just follow the route plan. That's it, and you show up at a supercharger, and it works. For the version 2, you get 120 kilowatts. For version 3, you got a 250 kilowatts. I mean, for me, that's a pretty amazing speed and a pretty efficient way to recharge the car. And all those supercharging networks is just so reliable. I mean, if it shows up working on your screen, then it's working when you show up. It's just that reliable. So yeah, so I want to have an electric car, and I want it to be the only car in my family. I don't want to keep an internal combustion engine car to just for road trips. I want my car to do everything. Keeping another car is just making no sense. It costs lots of money, and it's just a hassle. So that's why I chose Tesla in the first place, to solve the problem. And so far it's working so well. The next one is autopilot. The autopilot is a system. It's a driver assistance system. It's not a self-driving system. Lots of people get around with that. Lots of people think autopilots. Perhaps it's because of the name autopilot. People will naturally think, okay, the car will drive itself, pretty much drive itself, right? No, it won't. It won't drive itself. Autopilot at the moment is a driver assistance package, especially the most basic one. It only does lane centering and adaptive cruise control. If you buy in China, you can purchase a 32,000 RMB enhanced autopilot package. It gives you automatic lane change. It gives you automatic highway change. It gives you automatic parking, and it gives you the summon feature. That's it. But it's not worth for me for 32,000 Chinese yuan. That's about $5,000 US. That makes no sense for me at the moment. So I just have the basic one, and it does the basic one really well. It centers the lane awesomely, and I basically just need to put your hand on the wheel and tell the car that you're still there, you're still paying attention to the road. That's it. The car does everything for you. Then the last reason is, for me, buying a car, the top priority feature of the car is fun to drive. It's good to drive. So this car is so smooth it's just so smooth for the acceleration, and it's so fast the acceleration. So I mean, it turns pretty well. But the car is just really nice to drive, and a good value for that for the money. So talking about value, that's an add-on, another topic that I want to mention today is Tesla has a roughly the same price between the US market and the Chinese market. So the Tesla Model 3 Performance sells about $62,000 in the United States. In China, it's similar price. It's probably a little bit like $500, $600 cheaper in the China than the US for some reason. But even at this price, it's still cheaper than the very basic BMW 325. In the US, probably don't have a 325. In Europe, you probably have 320. But in China, the Tesla Model 3 Performance is that cheap comparing with other luxury brands, German brands. So yeah, that's it. That's why I said the Tesla is a very good car for the value. Very last thing about today's video is how do I charge my car. I can charge. I installed a Tesla wall connector at home. That's a 220 volts with 32 amps of charging power. That's between 7.3 kilowatts of charging power, AC charging. I will talk about it. Lots of people have the confusion. Hey, y'all, all your Chinese people are living in apartments. How do you install a home charger? That's a topic. Actually, you can actually do that. It's just simple as a household electricity supply. So in China, we have a 220 volt system. It's basically you using the household electrical system, 220 volts and 32 amps. That's how you do it. Yeah, and that's very cheap to do it. Very cheap to charge your car. Like I said, less than 5 cents after midnight of charging your car per kilowatt hour. Tesla in China has an offer of 8,000, sells for 8,000 Chinese yuan, RMB for they call it household charging service package. It helps you to run through the how to apply for an electric meter from the state grid. It helps you to run through all the paperwork that they need for applying for electric meter for state grid, and they install the home charger for you, and it includes 40 meters of wiring, of all this wiring for installing your electrical or your home charger. So it's a pretty nice way. It pays 8,000 RMB, and that's all it is. I mean, it's pretty much solves everything for you. And it has a 3-year warranty, a 2-year warranty, probably 2 or 3 years warranty of all the installations. So, and if anything happens and anything goes wrong, just give them a phone call, and they will come here and fix for you. It's pretty neat. It's pretty neat. The other way of charging my car, after I bought my car, I didn't install a home charger. I charged my car and have the DC fast chargers. First of all, you can use the Tesla Supercharging networks, Superchargers. The only downside is they're pretty expensive. They're charging about 20, 25, 30 US cents per kilowatt hour of charging using the supercharging networks. For third branded DC fast chargers, they're charging less. They're charging up probably 15 US cents per kilowatt hour, but they're charging so slowly. For Tesla Supercharger, you can get 120 kilos at least if you're not sharing stalls with version 2 superchargers. But if you are using third parties, the biggest okay, let's say the biggest 3 brands of third party DC fast charger suppliers is, the first one, State Grid. It's a state-owned company running by China. It runs most of the electrical supplies, both for factories, for households, for commercial buildings. They run most of the electrical supplies in China. The second one is the TELD, T-E-L-D, and so far, in my opinion, is the most reliable and the highest powered supercharger, not superchargers, DC fast chargers in China at the moment. For my car, during summer or during warm conditions, if the battery pack is warm enough, I can do maximum of 90 kilowatts of charging. It's not so fast, I would say, but it's still, I mean, it's acceptable. It takes about like 40 minutes or 30 minutes to charge your car from 20% to 80% or 85%. For that, I mean, you can do some shoppings or do anything you like in the meantime. Yeah, the last one is Star. Star is also really popular, but their charging powers are just so low. All the Star DC fast chargers, they claim they can do 120 kilowatts max, but I'm only getting 40. I'm only getting 40 kilowatts. So, sorry, I forgot to mention what's the pros and cons of the state grid DC fast chargers. The pros of a state grid is their network is the most widely available. You can pretty much get all the DC fast chargers along the highway service areas. There are 4 stops in each service area. Most of them are really are newly installed stalls, pretty new, but they're not reliable at all. I have been experienced, so in one of the highway service areas, I tried all 4 stalls, all those 4 chargers. None of them are working. None of them are working. This is just that bad. Even the good ones, they claim they can do 120 kilowatts, but they only deliver 80 kilowatts max. That's my experience for my Tesla. Probably if they're using BYD, some Chinese-made brand electric cars, they can reach 120 kilowatts. I heard people in the southern part of China, when they're driving a BYD Han, that's a Chinese-made EV. We can do a review, or if I can get my hand on one of those in the future. They can achieve 120 kilowatts. That's only what I heard of. I never saw one. I never saw a single SigGrid DC fast charger can output 120 kilowatts or even near that in northern part of China. That's my experience. If someone in China has using any kind of electric car using 120 kilowatts state grid public DC chargers that actually achieved 120 kilowatts, tell me. I'm all ears. So charging using public DC fast chargers is not a huge problem in summer. I mean, usually your battery pack is pretty warm. The ambient temperature around like 30 degrees Celsius. It's no problem. But charging using DC fast chargers in winter, it will have a problem, because usually your battery pack in winter are very cold. If you are, for me, when I was driving my Tesla to a supercharger, the car knows I'm going to DC fast charge my car. So it's going to precondition the battery to warm it up, so I can reach 120 kilowatts once I arrive there, right? But if I drive my car to a third-party DC fast chargers, the car doesn't know I'm going to charge my car at a location. So when I arrive at the place, my battery pack will still be cold, and I only get 30 or 40 kilowatts, and for a 77 kilowatt hour battery pack, even only you charge up only to 85% state of charge, it'll take well over an hour to do that. It's just that slow in winter. So in the winter, if you are not relying on home chargers, you're relying on DC public fast chargers on a daily basis, you probably want to charge the car before you head home, because during the daytime, at least your battery pack will be a little warmer than letting it sit in the night for an all-nighter, and it drops to like below freezing point for the battery pack. At least that's a better way to do it, and you can get a much better rate. So thank you for taking a look at for watching our videos. If you're interested in electric vehicles, electric cars in China, how they're charged, and what does it look like living with one in China, please subscribe and hit the bell icon button so we can whenever we update our videos, you won't miss it. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.